Streamlabs, please work. It says I'm live. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at again with another episode of the Just Chillin' podcast. Now with Gio hopping in because his name said Gio instead of Kidblue on StreamYard. What up, Kidblue? Here we got with our guest tonight, Justin PENIK from Talking Giants from Bleeding Big Blue History podcast. Did I chop up the name?
You chopped it up a little bit. It's a Bleeding Blue Giants history podcast every Monday 6 p.m. on the Talking Giants YouTube channel. So fellas, thank you for having me. Happy I'm coming on the week before the draft. This is really exciting, really fun. I'm feeling kind of crazy. We may mess around. Should we get into a mock draft tonight? We're gonna get into some.
Oh, you're down for a mock draft?
You know what? You know me. I'm usually against it, but I'm feeling kind of crazy. I'm feeling kind of wild.
He's feeling crazy. All right.
I mean, I'm liking it. We all know if we talk about crazy, Kidblue had a dog by him today, amongst other things.
Oh, almost tried to. He attempted to. And amongst other things today, a lot of crazy things today.
The crazy life of a mailman. I really do think that he lied because it's a mailman. I mean, mailmen have easiest jobs in the world, bro. All you do is walk around and give somebody some envelopes, man. What is this dude talking about? But we got a lot of things to get into. One of the first ones, Justin and I actually started to get into before the show started. This is really interesting because it's a big topic right now. What are we doing at 11? What are we doing at 42? What are we doing in the draft? The two most popular, mocks to the Giants at 11 right now are either that one of those 3 wide receivers or a guy in Slater if he drops, or even a guy in AVT. And we got to talk about AVT in himself as well, because I am personally not convinced on taking AVT at 11, but maybe my mind can be changed. Maybe somebody shows me something that, he is worth that being taken at 11. But which class is deeper right now, O-line or wide receiver? And they're both kind of deep. Justin, I'm going to let you go second and then maybe help you recollect what you already said. But KB, what about you, man?
As far as which is deeper?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as I would say wide receiver, that's pretty much the most notable to me. Maybe Justin would disagree, but I would say wide receiver. I'm seeing a bunch of talent in this wide receiver class from the second to third round that can really make an impact on a team where I'm in no worry whatsoever about the New York Giants not going wide receiver in the first 2 rounds and finding one in the third or fourth, to complement the receivers we already have. So that's why, I mean, in my opinion, that's how I feel. I feel like the wide receivers are much deeper, that I'm more comfortable with targeting receivers in those rounds. When it comes to the offensive linemen, you've got your guards in there like Deontay Brown. You got a couple of guys in there in that second to third round range. Landon Dickerson, a lot of people saying he's first to third round talent. You got a lot of guys in there you can be confident in, but in my opinion, the highest volume is in the wide receivers.
Yeah, I would 100% agree because I mean, let's just simply list off names, right? Mm-hmm. Outside of the big 4, and then Kyle Pitts I guess is included in there with the big 4, right? Bateman's going to be round 1, so I don't even consider him a round 2 target. Mm-hmm. But Kadarius Toney, I would kind of consider him a round 2 target. Amari Rodgers, I would kind of consider him a round 2 target.
Oh yeah,
Elijah Moore.
I love Elijah Moore.
Moore from I can't believe I literally said his name with Rondale Moore. He's a guy. If you want to talk about a beast, you want to talk about a guy that I would just have a stroke over.
The only concern about Rondale is his injuries.
Is the injuries, right. Yeah.
Right, and then obviously, I don't know how many connections does the Joe Judge coaching staff have to Purdue. I would feel much better if he was coming out of an SEC school, since basically Joe Judge's coaching staff is primarily comprised of SEC coaches from the mid-2010s. But you just list all of those names. De'Ami Brown's another one from the University of North Carolina. I'm probably forgetting one or two. You look at all the names that could possibly go late round 1 to round 2, maybe some a little bit later. But then you start listing off Ben Cleveland, University of Georgia. He's an interior offensive lineman. Maybe he can go round 2, round 3.
Yeah, he's a 3 guy for me.
Aaron Banks, Trey Smith. Landon Dickerson is the only interior offensive lineman out of this entire draft class where I would feel quite comfortable with. If he's there round 2, you got to run to the phone and get him.
So would you feel comfortable, say, if a guy like Creed Humphrey is there?
Yeah, that's another guy I was about to mention.
I feel Creed Humphrey is primarily a center, though. Like, Creed Humphrey is one of those guys, and there's a reason why on Talking Giants, when we did our offensive guard center preview episode, there's a reason why Bobby kind of stuffed him a little bit lower on his list, because he feels that Creed Humphrey is primarily a center. That's why he's talented, and he is up there amongst the interior offensive linemen. But a big talking point when we're talking about the draft, especially when we're talking about tackles and guards, is this tackle can play guard at the NFL. I feel like every tackle can play guard, right? This guard or this center can also play guard. It's like, no, if a guy's good at center, like Josh Myers, I love Josh Myers.
Here's the thing about Creed, he's like elite at center.
Yeah. So why, if a guy's good at center, and obviously an NFL team is going to have the end say at the end of the day, right? And they're going to be the ones that evaluate much better than we can. Mm-hmm. But also, if somebody's good at center, like, kind of leave him there. And sometimes their skill set serves better at center.
This is what I was suggesting, though. Since Creed, in my opinion, is elite at center and probably the best center in the class, bring him in and put Gates at guard.
Yeah, and then it's also one of those things of, do you want to mess with the good thing? Because I think Gates being...
Gates is good at center, too. I won't... Yeah, won't put that down.
You can argue that he can be better at guard because of how well he can move and how well he can get out in space. But also, why mess with Nick Gates being an undrafted free agent? And how often do undrafted free agents not only start, but a guy who missed an entire season, a guy who started in 2019 at guard, at tackle, and then went through a positional change and went through a coaching change. How often do those guys make it, go from one coach to the next, make the roster anyway after missing an entire year full of injuries? How often do these guys make it? So I kind of don't want to mess with the good thing. Nick Gates, captain, center. I consider center to be captain of the offensive line because you're the one that's making the calls. He did it for a year. Under Jason Garrett's system, so he has that familiarity. He's going to be able to progress even a little bit more in year two. I would keep that because a center does a lot more than just, okay, you're going to snap the ball and then you're going to be that part of the interior offensive line. He has to make those calls. So if that went well in year one, if the Giants view that went well, then I would try and keep it unless it is a major upgrade. Really, the only guy that I would say in this draft class, move Nick Gates to guard if the Giants really feel like they need to keep whoever they draft at center. That's Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson is going to be the only guy that does anything.
Do you think that because he's a better center than Creed, or is there another reason?
I just think, I think Landon Dickerson is going to be a better offensive lineman than Creed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And quick.
And Alabama offensive linemen are just naturally transition so well into the NFL.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and the Giants are going to have way more information on Landon than they are Creed naturally. So because of all the Alabama ties.
And shout out to Mike Nixon for the $5 super chat. He says, "You're hubbing KB. I'll be back. I'm watching the Knicks game on Taylor's channel." But shout out to my two broskies, Cushion, KB. Yeah, I asked Justin back when we were still setting this up if he was a Knicks fan. Unfortunately, he's not. But the Knicks are like the hottest team in the NBA right now.
Shooting for 8 straight, man. We're not looking too good though.
Oh man, are we still down? What's the score?
We've got the Hawks in quarter 3. The Hawks got 91 points.
Wow.
91-81. It's a shootout.
Against the best defense in the NBA?
Yeah, I was told the Knicks points already. I was told the Knicks haven't allowed 91 points since 1984. That's tough.
That's looking like a tough game, man. But back to the NFL. Yeah, KB, your response to that, or did you already kind of give it?
No, I second what he said about Landon.
And, so what's your criteria for looking at offensive linemen in the second round, then, Justin?
Really the criteria, and I guess the critique of interior offensive line in round 2, at least as of right now. There's a guy that I'm looking at. Spoiler alert, because we're recording our tackle episode tomorrow, and somebody who I may not mind in round 2. It may be a reach. Not sure. I haven't really looked and saw where he's projected. But not Cameron. Yeah. No.
Wait, before you say his name, so you say he's a tackle, right? So where do you see him on this line?
He's a tackle, but he could transition to guard. Like remember how
most tackle prospects, yeah.
Remember how 2 minutes ago I said that can be a lazy analysis? I'm doing it for my own benefit right now.
Yeah.
Jalen Mayfield from Michigan.
Okay, Michigan guy. Yeah.
I started watching him, and so my criteria, right? And I'm not a scout. I'm a guy who I like to watch the game of football, and I like to watch players who play hard. Like that's really if you're not even that talented, and maybe you're somewhat athletic, but you just play like a bat out of hell, I'm gonna love you. And
Shane Lemieux last year. Shane Lemieux was very easy to like last year.
Yeah, he's very easy to like because the first play against Auburn, he puts I don't know if it's Derek Brown, but he puts an interior defensive lineman on his ass against Auburn, and then that's the clip that everybody goes to. And it's the first play of the game. It's like, oh, we love Shane Lemieux, right? But yeah, so my criteria for interior offensive lineman, I love. I'm more technique over play strength. That may be something that I may change as the years go on. I think it's just way more important for you to at least have good footwork, and for you to mirror guys well, versus that just brute play strength. Because if your feet are in cement and you can't keep up with the NFL speed, I'm sorry. I think you can much more easily finesse guys versus just be a brute. You got to have the play strength, obviously.
Sounds like my critiques of Greg Rousseau.
Ooh, lack of play strength. But mainly the critique of not taking an interior lineman in round 2 stems from the fact that wide receiver I feel is much more deep. And I saw Nate Talks Giants in here, and he said Amari Rodgers at 42. I was simply just naming the wide receivers that can go post round 1. Maybe not necessarily at 42, but they can go post round 1 compared to the interior offensive line, because I feel like there's a lot more options at wide receiver post round 1 versus interior offensive line. They're both relatively deep classes with some fun names, but also here's also the fact too, and this is not just NFL draft, this is just Giants talk. Why would you really maybe reach for an interior offensive lineman at pick 42 outside of Landon Dickerson? And this is at least in my opinion. Why would you reach for an interior offensive lineman at 42 after taking a wide receiver that we love in round 1, let's just say, right? Or you could take somebody else in round 2, take an interior offensive lineman round 3, 4, then why would we expect like an Aaron Banks, a Trey Smith? Why would we expect any of those guys to come in, start, beat Shane LeMahieu out for a job when that we shouldn't put those expectations on that player? That's why as of right now, I'm viewing it as very important that if there's an offensive lineman in round 1 that the Giants really like, that it's imperative to take him. I understand, everybody likes to say BPA. Everybody likes to say, positional value, in my opinion, doesn't apply to the offensive line, because positions on the offensive line, if you need it, number 1, and at this point, the Giants, they need offensive linemen. I am a big believer of positional value, but getting a guard that can be on your team for 10 plus years, possibly, who was an absolute stud, that's value to me. Like that's value.
So so what I can gather right now is you feel comfortable with getting a guy like AVT at 11.
Yes. Yeah? I would rather Slater.
Oh yeah, well, in the case that he's not there, I mean, of course, if they're both available, I feel like Slater would be the pick. But if Slater's not there and they feel like they need an offensive lineman right away, do they go ahead and reach for a guy in AVT, or do they wait till the second to get a Landon Dickerson?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're really gonna. I number 1, and this is why they may not go offensive lineman round 1, or at least they may not go Vera Tucker. They may go Slater. I don't know. We've been hearing from the beat reporters, particularly the ones that have came on Talking Giants, and also the tidbits and the nuggets that they've been putting out, particularly Ronan, particularly Duggan, and those guys are very much in the building, and they very much kind of have a very good informed opinion of what may happen. They really do believe in these young guys at the offensive line. They really do believe in them, and good for them, because they want to see
talking about the coaches or the reporters themselves?
Well, they're thinking that the team believes in it. So the organization, front office, and coaching, that a reason why they may not heavily invest with high value picks in rounds 1 or 2 in interior offensive line is because they believe in those guys.
That's an argument I've heard from a lot of people that's telling me about the continuity as well, which I completely agree. Like, yeah, continuity is definitely important for the O-line. Do I want these guys to have continuity? Absolutely. But now people are bringing up to me, they're like, yo, didn't they bring in the new coach in Rob Sale, who I haven't seen coach yet, but from what I learned about him back at Louisiana Lafayette, I like, and they brought in Platt Flaherty. A lot of people seem to think that's just a sign of we're gonna stick with these guys. So, like, do you necessarily think that, or you think they might still just go O-line?
I don't think. Yeah. Go ahead, Cape. Yeah, Cape. Go ahead.
I think they're at least going to address it between the first 3 rounds. I really don't see the Giants not addressing offensive line in the first three rounds. I think we don't have, in my honest opinion, I don't think the Giants really have that much of big needs on this team, right? We've addressed most of it. Wide receiver, obviously, we can address in the first round if we wanted to, but we'll survive if we don't address it in the first round. We will survive. So, I mean, I feel like offensive line is pretty much the most obvious that we have. So I feel like there's no way the Giants won't address it. Even if we do want to kind of maintain the continuity on the team, I feel like they're still going to address and get some talent somewhere in the early rounds.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of we draft a guy and what are we going to expect out of him? That's the main thing, where I'm done half-assing this offensive line. And it's crazy how we're saying that we're half-assing this offensive line. Meanwhile, Will Hernandez is a former second-round pick. Andrew Thomas is a 4th overall pick. Nate Solder used to.
Which, by the way, I completely forget that Solder's on the team like every single week.
I know. I always think about Matt Perry. I'm like, damn, we have Solder too.
Nate Solder used to have one of the largest contract ever given out to an offensive lineman in NFL history. Matt Parrott is a former 3rd-round pick. So all of these, we're saying we're tired of half-assing the offensive line, yet we look at the money that has been poured. Well, not just the money,
the resources
that have been poured into this offensive line, and we're still saying we don't want to half-ass it. But honestly, this is a year where I could care less how much money the Giants have poured into here, how much value the Giants have poured into there. There are needs that this team
You
needs
just want to get
fill.
it done right away.
I don't want to half-ass this offense. I don't want to half-ass this offensive line. So guess what? You can if you can give me the critique all day of Justin, well, you need to take best player available, BPA, blah 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 blah. Sure. Throw it in my face. If that's the way that you draft and that's the way that you're supposed to do it, sure, throw it in my face. I'm an irrational fan right now, and I'm kind of
I wouldn't call it necessarily irrational, but I mean, I hear where you're coming from.
I really want offensive line, but also, don't get me wrong, if Jalen Waddle's name is read, if Devonta Smith's name is read, even if Micah Parsons' name is read, I'm celebrating it. I am.
And that goes back to the point I've been trying to make for weeks. I don't think there's a wrong pick at 11, to be honest. Well, there is one. There is
Greg
one.
Rousseau
Greg
is probably...
But other than Greg Rousseau, I don't think there's a wrong pick at 11. I really don't.
So just to challenge you real quick, because I agree with you, but what if the Giants went like Kwity Paye? Because it's not really, he doesn't really fit.
Kwity Paye is a monster, but he does not fit us.
That's what I'm saying. So would you be excited for Kwity Paye, or
I'm gonna be super concerned and wondering to myself, where does Pat Grant put him?
Well, exactly. Why? I think Kwity Paye, hypothetically, isn't he a guy that Graham would love, and particularly Graham and Judge would love?
I don't know about that.
Because I feel like he is almost a little bit stronger in the run game than he is as a pass rusher. And
no, he is.
Frankly,
he 100% is.
The Giants traded away, and this is still kind of mind-boggling to me. The Giants traded away Marcus Golden, who was their most talented edge rusher, and then even when he went to Arizona, he still put up, him and Reddick put up two teammates put up one of the most pressures out of the pass rushing tandems in the entire NFL. So he still went away from the Giants, and he was still productive. The only problem with the Giants is that Golden was getting 30% of the snaps, but they value guys like Kyler Fackrell over talented pass
So you're saying we would take
like
him
Mark
because
Stoll.
of his run-stopping ability?
I'm thinking like the Giants. I'm not thinking like Justin.
Okay, all right. So I'm talking to the Giants right now in Justin's body, right?
Sure. Yes.
Giants, listen. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Our run stuffing on the defensive line is currently at like an all-time high. I mean, we got a fat dude in Danny Shelton who's there just to clog up holes in the run game.
Big boy.
We still got a stacked defensive line. Everybody's forgetting about my boy B.J. Hill. Happy belated birthday to him. who is, in my opinion, a starter level type of guy, but he's always been stuck in that rotational role. We still got Austin Johnson. Like, I'm talking specifically run stuffing here. Dexter Lawrence could be a good run stuffer. If we go out on the edge, there's one guy that stands out as a run stuffer to me, and that's Lorenzo Carter. He's really good at stuffing the run. So I'm like, how much more do you want to pour into?
But let me ask you a question. And it's not just about run stuffing. I think it's more or less about versatility.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we don't take him, though, Justin, because Kwity Paye, or I think any edge rusher that the Giants take, is going to need to be able to have some coverage ability as an outside linebacker.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So, but think about this. Lorenzo Carter played 65% of the snaps in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what his snap share and his snap count was before he was getting injured?
I don't know.
There was some games where he was playing over 90% of the snaps.
And I like that.
That's rare. And it's because the Giants valued his versatility. And he definitely is a guy that was known even from day one coming out of college as a guy that can drop into coverage. But more or less, it's a guy that can play the run. He could be a 3-down player. He could play the run,
I do
and
want
he
to
can rush
say,
the passer.
In 2019, I remember this because I did a video in the 2020 offseason saying that Lorenzo was going to break out. He almost broke out, then he got injured. A lot of that had to do with exactly what you're saying right now, his versatility and his run-stuffing ability. In 2019, for example, he was so good at stuffing the run, they actually lined him up at D-tackle a couple times for some plays.
Yeah, and I think part of why he was starting to break out maybe a little bit is because when you're playing 90% of the snaps, and when you're on the field, like
that much,
you're gonna get more numbers, and you're gonna stuff the stat sheet a little bit, which is also why, not to just totally go off to a different point, which is also why I'm hoping that with Dalvin Tomlinson leaving, now we're paying Leonard Williams a lot of money for a few years now. I'm hoping Leonard Williams' snap share and his snap count actually goes up next year by a little bit. I think.
Do you have the numbers on what it was last yeyear?
Yes, I do. I actually should have it memorized in the back of my head. I believe it was 74%.
So
that's
you're
my
trying
guess.
to see something like 80 then?
74%. I
Nice.
knew it. So the highest in his career, 2016, I believe that was his Pro Bowl year, was 87%. I want to see more. Like, dude, you're getting paid like as the interior defensive lineman. Like you are getting that AD Chris Jones money. You got to be out on the field over 80% of the time. 8 out of 10 plays. If you want to be that 3-down player, if you want to be that run stuffer and this team's best pass rusher, be out there for 80% of the plays. And hopefully, and even if he takes like a step down in his overall performance, hopefully the numbers won't show it if he's on the field more.
Yeah. And that really shows how he's developed, because with 13% less snaps, he performed a lot better, because last year he had his best career year. So and he made the Pro Bowl in 2016, and he even make it this year.
Yeah.
And real quick, before I get to the super chat from Joseph Clark, which is a question that's about this, and then another one from Kevin, which is also a question to the topic we're talking about. Let me give a shout out to a couple people in the chat real quick. Shout out to Nate Talks Giants, Duran, Board and Arrow, Chris, Joey H, Kevin, who I gave a shout out to already, Joe, James Cabrales, Anthony. Thank you guys all for tuning in. There's also Thrill Collins, I think. I saw a name similar to Thrill Collins.
Yes, Thrill Collins is a very good friend of the program.
Mm-hmm. As well as Nerd Cage Live, who I will be on their channel in a couple of weeks to talk, well, as the name suggests, stuff like comics, movies, video games, and whatnot. But first off, from Joseph Clark, shout out for the $2 super chat. He says, what edges do you guys think are the best fits for this defense? Me personally, my one at the top is Azeez Ojulari. I love that dude out of Georgia. I think he fits us in more than just what he does, but also with the coaching staff. And after Azeez, there's not really anybody in the first round.
I say Jalen.
If you want to take a chance on him in the first, yeah. But yeah, what about you guys?
Okay, KB, I've been talking too much.
Oh, yeah, I agree with Hub. I'm a huge Jalen Phillips guy, so I would kind of put Jalen Phillips talent-wise. I know about the whole risk with the injuries, but if I say who fits this the best, I would probably put Jalen up there just because his versatility. I believe he could play 5-tech. I believe he could play all the way in the 7. Like, he could play outside linebacker DN, in my opinion. Maybe Azeez can do that as well. I just am infatuated with Jalen Phillips' game. So Jalen Phillips and Azeez Ojulari in those early rounds, I feel like fits this team a lot better. If Leonard Williams was not a part of the team this year, I would say Kwity Paye really would fit in perfectly, filling in for Leonard Williams. But since we have Leonard Williams now,
Joseph said it doesn't have to be first-round edges.
Oh, it doesn't have to be first. Well, that's pretty much the guys that I've been looking at the most, and of course, the most talented guys you would want to say fits us the best. So, yeah, I would say Jalen and Aziz.
I got some post-round 1 guys.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm in love with Joseph Asai. I am in love.
The thing is, I think Osai might be first round, bro.
He could.
I think Osai might be first round.
The earliest this guy's going is probably Baltimore, because there's a lot of talk of him going to Baltimore, even though they need a receiver.
A lot of people are talking about I could literally see him going anywhere from like 27 to 32 in the first round.
Yeah, 27 is Baltimore.
I hope edge rushers fall, because if teams aren't gonna buy into the edge rushers this year, so if Greg Rousseau's the first guy to come off the board and he's going in the 20s, right? I think Joseph Asai makes it out of the first round. So it's going to be like the fall of edge rushers.
Quick question. I know how it feels. Justin, how do you feel about Ronnie Perkins if you've done any film on him? Because I'm a big fan of Ronnie Perkins.
Justin should know about him because I think I was the one that told him about him.
Well, Bobby did a film breakdown on him, so he primarily looked at him. I haven't done much work on him because Bobby and I typically split on whether Bobby claims somebody or I beat him to it in terms of a guy that catches my eye. So he wasn't a guy that caught my eye. So Hub, what do you how you feeling about him?
So, we got another one. I'm gonna get that one. Yo, you see that profile picture, bro?
How the hell did you do that?
Oh
Yo,
my God.
someone please make that for me. Someone take me and do that, please.
I hate y'all, bro. I hate y'all. You see that profile picture? I hate that so much. Damn, that's grimy, bro.
And come on, that's clever.
That is clever. I won't lie.
That's pretty damn clever.
That's
Chubb,
hilarious.
come on.
I know, it's hilarious, but that's a
somebody
really
make that
pick,
of me,
man.
please.
Oh man. Anyway, on Ronnie Perkins. So when I first scouted him back in like late February. Oh no, I had him in my first round mock. So it was January actually. I personally viewed him as a 3rd or 4th round guy. Now he's probably going in the 2nd. I like him a lot because, and this is going to be the buzzword that we all love to hit on, versatility. I think he could play both defensive lineman and outside linebacker for us. He is a great motor, man. He just gets.
I was just about to say that he has probably the highest motor in this class. Probably.
He just knows how to get to the quarterback.
If you look at his film all the way in the 4th quarter, it could be towards the end of the game. This guy's still running like it's the 1st quarter. I mean, this guy is relentless. I mean, he played like 6 games last year, and he put up stats as if he played a full season. I mean, even though his prior 2 years weren't fantastic, I mean, going off of what he did in 2020, I mean, he lit it up in only like about 6 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another guy that I have is Jordan Smith at a UAB.
That's one I haven't heard of. Okay, nice.
Yeah, Jordan Smith at UAB. It's like he's one of those like Dave Gettleman darlings that will take from like a small school. Like Will Hernandez came from a relatively small school.
Yeah,
O'Shane Zimenez came from a relatively small school.
Yeah,
so a guy that graded well out of a small school. I could see Dave Gettleman taking like a mid-draft chance on a guy like Jordan Smith. I think he's like 6'7". He has pretty good bursts off the line of scrimmage, so I think the Giants could do something with him. But the guy that I'm like, I would kind of be shocked if the Giants didn't take him. They met with him at the Senior Bowl. He actually performed well at the Senior Bowl. He's a very
before you
I never heard of this.
Before you say it, is it possibly somebody that I've been talking about since January in Quincy Roche?
No. Well, he is a good one. He is a very good one. Quincy Roche is a very good one. Miami, yes. So Bobby's been talking about him too. So yeah, Quincy Roche is a good option. But this guy could possibly go 4th, 5th round. Dalen Hayes.
Okay. Somebody mentioned him. Somebody was just saying that. Joseph Clark just said that.
Dalen Hayes is ranked lower than the 2 edges from Pitt, but I think Hayes would be a better fit.
Rashad Weaver is also a very, very cool option in if they want to go there in round 3. He was one of like this draft class's leading in like pressures. And if you're a believer in getting pressure on the quarterback versus just maybe getting sacks versus just your regular performance stats, whatever.
If you like Weaver, you gotta like Jones too.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Jones,
but Dalen Hayes is like, if you want to talk about that perfect versatility fit, he 100% fits it because he did drop into coverage. He is arguably just as good of a run stuffer and a guy against the run than he is a pass rusher. So I would keep an eye out for Dalen Hayes. Humble brag, we did interview him on Talking Giants.
Nice.
And yeah. So we only did 2 interviews of draft guys this process. I find that draft interviews don't do tremendously well. We'll just throw it out there. So if you're ever thinking about it, not do it
just so I could talk to a prospect, man. That would be cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's cool. So at this point, if Dalen Hayes is drafted and we interviewed him, that would be kind of cool. The Giants did talk to him at the Senior Bowl, so I would keep an eye out for Dalen Hayes as
any other names, because I do want to get to the Kevin's question here, or any other names you got.
Though those are some of my, like, Joseph Asai, Dalen Hayes, Jordan Smith. Those are some of my favorite edge rushers who are outside of round 1.
Okay, and hey, Joseph, I see you said hey to me twice. What's up, man? So Kevin, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, does edge versatility mean pass rush and run defense, or pass rush and coverage? In my opinion, all 3. What kind of player does the Giants value more?
I think that would be more so. I mean, you would have to break that question up of, are you looking for a linebacker? Are you looking for like a defensive end, an interior rusher? Because obviously you're not going to be looking for a guy that drops back in coverage if he's an interior rusher. You know, it depends on what you're looking for. As far as they
had BJ Hill dropping back into coverage against the Rams last year.
Yeah, I seen they also did that. They did the same. They did that to Dexter Lawrence though.
Yeah.
They made Dexter Lawrence drop back before.
Hey, they may write up a scouting report on some 350-pounder's ability to drop back into coverage. No, probably not. No, but basically, if gone are the days of the Giants running the 4-3 where you have the off-ball outside linebacker. Doesn't mean that those skills of being like Kavika Mitchell, Devon Kennard. I think there's a guy in this. There's a guy in this draft class. He's an interior linebacker. I'm gonna find him right now. Zavon Collins.
Zavon Collins, yeah.
Yeah, he's
another guy that I think should go first round.
Yeah, no, he definitely is probably gonna go first round. But it's not a player comp, but I was watching him like, this is what the Giants wanted Devon Kennard to be, a guy that can like rush the passer whenever he's called upon, but also drop back into coverage and mirror guys and be smart in zone coverage as well. Devon Kennard was always like a much better pass rusher than he was a guy in coverage, which is why he should have been like a defensive end. But I rest my case. I was always very mad with how the Giants used Devon Kennard.
Yeah,
I was also very upset at the fact that we let him go.
Yeah.
But gone are the days of where like that off-ball linebacker, and that's a scouting phrase that you hear very often. And
by the way,
sometimes
the Giants
it confuses
did meet with Zavon Collins, I think.
Oh, wow.
Good for them.
That's interesting.
But typically you're looking for an edge. Typically you're looking for an edge that, the Giants very much, in my opinion, they value the versatility of run defense and rushing the passer. They want you to be
want you to at least be able to do some pass coverage.
Yeah, able to do drop back into coverage. I also don't think it's that they're not asking you to do anything extravagant when we're talking about dropping back into coverage. They're not asking you to cover a George Kittle and run with him down the field. So really, dropping back into coverage, I don't think it involves a lot for an edge rusher. So that's why when I'm talking about versatility, I'm more or less talking about, can you play the run, be a 3-down player, and rush the passer? Which, and frankly, I think the Giants, they need to be a little bit more liberal in terms of how they're choosing their pass rushers and how they're choosing their edge rushers, because they don't have enough pass rushers, in my opinion.
The Giants would love it if they could just have a clone of Zoe Carter opposite of him.
Yes. One that stays healthy, please.
I mean, well, he's only gotten injured once.
Oh yeah, that is true, but
and there was a reason. There was a reason why O'Shane's snap count was down last year. I mean, there was a stretch where, Kyler Fackrell was playing more than O'Shane, which is kind of crazy. But O'Shane was getting just barely more snaps than Marcus Golden to start seeing. Marcus Golden was getting like 30% of the snaps. It was kind of crazy. He was really only coming in on third down, and O'Shane wasn't really getting that many more snaps compared to Lorenzo Carter and also compared to Kyler Fackrell. So the way that the Giants used their edge rushers when everybody was healthy earlier in the year, that was really an indicator of what they're looking for based off of who they're playing.
And let me get to the Chubbs super chat. Thank you for the $2, man. He says, anybody got a ham sandwich I can grab? Well, I know he's not impersonating me because I would ask for a bacon, egg, and cheese with Arizona.
It's a bacon, egg, and cheese.
A bacon, egg, and cheese with Arizona. All right. And then shout out to Joseph Clark for the $2 super chat. He says, which Bulldog would Dave Youngman draft? We were talking earlier about connections because he will take one is what he says.
Aziz.
I mean, I would like for it to be Aziz.
I mean, who else? Ben Cleveland?
Yes, but going back to what
Cleveland.
Justin was saying, we got to adjust our expectations, for everybody that we draft. But if we're taking Ben Cleveland, how much are you really expecting him to actually come in and start, you know what I'm saying, versus competition and stuff like that?
And that's why that's one of the points I was using when a lot of people were saying, well, let's wait to get offensive lineman. Let's address wide receiver, and let's although I love adjusting wide receiver, I just hate pushing back this offensive line. A lot of people every single year, besides last year with Andrew Thomas, every single year everybody wanted to, push offensive linemen back and get those sexy players, So you have to address the offensive line early.
Yeah, because if we just wanted to bank on another a day 2, day 3 pick to start, then let's legitimately just roll with Shane Lemieux. Let's legitimately just roll with Will Hernandez.
Right.
If we want to bank on a day 2 guy to come in and start, I mean, also you could say, oh well, competition. Well,
I do think that they're going to put them there to compete, but I also do think that Shane Lemieux would have the edge in the competition.
Yeah, because he's been here for a year, but then also you're talking about where maybe is Will Hernandez going to be extended? Then if you draft a guy round 2 or round 3, then you're talking about, okay, Will Hernandez, you're going to be gone after whenever your 4-year rookie contract expires. So they have options, but also I'm thinking about 2021. This is a very
by the way,
you're not supposed to. We will see what happens this year because I have a feeling that the Giants I don't even know if he's going to be on the roster to start the year.
Stop. Who is that?
Stop it.
Who are we talking about?
Stop it.
Will Hernandez. I have a feeling, and this is a hunch.
Comment, Justin.
This is I'm saying I don't know, and I'm saying legitimately I don't know. But, man, should I say this?
Do it.
Say it.
There are rumblings from unknown people, and I'm just I hear very little things, but I don't trust anybody because why would anybody tell me anything? I'm not important. There's has to be something else going on besides just the COVID, and it could be the COVID. It could have been the COVID, and you're fully recovered from it. COVID fog, blah blah blah. Maybe a thing nobody knows. But
Joe Judge's season, Will.
Joe Judge has been stingy to let everybody know an answer, and we're just sometimes you put 2 and 2 together. It may be something other than on the field. I don't know.
I will say, if it is something off the field, they're doing a great job of keeping it away from anybody.
Well, I mean, Will Hernandez has been everywhere. I mean, he's been taking pictures with Daniel Jones everywhere. They're going out working out with Matt Peart.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's really anything that he's dealing with that's making him go through something like this. But, I mean, you could be right. And we'll see what happens with Will Hernandez. I would say he...
Yes, we got it. First we got the Chubb, now we got Kidblue cheese, bro.
That is hilarious. You spelled blue wrong in the blue cheese. Come on, man. You got to fix that.
Nah, blue spelled correctly, bro. What are you looking at?
No. Blue cheese is with the EU. When that blue cheese. Get it?
I don't trust you.
Look it up. Blue cheese, like the dip for hot wings. Look it up. Blue cheese is spelled
Am I about to get Mandela effect right now?
Yo, that's happened to me.
It's absolute facts.
No, you're lying.
Look it up.
It's blue cheese. BLUE.
No, it's not. It's BLEU.
KB, how about you look it up, bro? On your phone and then show us.
Right.
Oh, wait. I'm seeing two different answers.
Yes.
So there you go. He's not right. He's not wrong then. Technically.
I'm also not wrong.
No, that's what I was saying. You're not wrong technically.
It's if you want to say blue cheese or blue cheese,
What were we even saying before that?
We were mentioning possible Georgia players, and Joe Clark mentions it. Joe Clark. The reason why Joe Clark sounds very smart, and I love how Joe Clark is saying this, is because he listens to Talking Giants. So listen to Talking Giants if you want to be smart like Joe Clark. He mentioned Monty Rice.
I will also say Joe Clark listens to the Hub. He's been one of my first subscribers.
Monty Rice out of Georgia is a guy that we just talked about in our interior linebacker preview. He plays fast. He loves to play very fast, and that's a guy that runs like a bat out of hell. So he's automatically on my love it list. If you're a guy that plays like a bat out of hell, Joseph Asai plays like a bat out of hell. Tommy Tremble, he's a guy that plays like a bat out of hell, and I love him as a possible round 3 guy. So
I just like Tommy Tremble's name.
Tremble,
big alliteration fan. I'm also a big fan of anybody who has a good name in this draft class. So Puka Williams. Big fan.
Dude, I like me some Puka Williams, man.
I want him to be a Giant.
I really want him to be a Giant. That's
everybody loves Puka. I don't blame you all.
Dude, he's gonna be better. He's gonna be what Donald Pumphrey was supposed to be. That's exactly what he's gonna be.
I just think that Elijah Mitchell fits us better, which is why I'd rather him in the 6th. And I also think Puka's gonna probably go before.
Well, here's the thing. I want Puka Williams because he doesn't fit. You
see this one too?
The prototype. Talking McDonald's. Pretty sure it's spelled blue. Listen, man. Every time I go order a blue cheeseburger, they always spell it with the EU.
How many not burner accounts, parody accounts does this guy have?
I don't know, man, but he's a legend. What was I talking about?
Puka. You were talking about Puka. You like Puka Williams because he doesn't fit any NFL team.
Because he doesn't fit because. You know, the experiment that the Eagles try with Donald Pumphrey over there, you know, it's like that scat back, the wide receiver build type guy, you know, like a Tavon Austin. It doesn't really work for a lot of teams. He's got his red-eared slider right there.
Man, making a little noise.
Oh man, I gotta show you my turtle, man. I got a turtle too.
Yeah, it's got red eyebrows.
But,
everybody has turtles?
I gotta what is it, like a North Carolina terrapin? Diamondback terrapin.
Oh, you got a diamondback. I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, diamondback terrapin.
I feel left out.
We found them in Coney Island, and my sister just took them.
Bob, I found Bob in my neighbor's abandoned apartment. So 2 rescue turtles, bro.
Rescues, man. Yeah, abandoned. We had to, we had to parent it up. But anyway, yeah. Puka Williams does not fit a prototypical NFL offense. He just doesn't. As far as what his play style is, it's very college-like. It's very college football-like. He has a wide receiver-type body. He plays running back. He's hard-nosed. He could run in between the tackles. He's like Wayne Gallman almost, right? But smaller than Wayne Gallman. He's way smaller than Wayne Gallman. You know who I will
compare him to?
Wayne Gallman has a wide receiver-type body, but is a hard-nosed runner.
Puka Williams is as fast as anybody.
But he's fast, but he's tough. He runs.
Wayne Gallman had a clear touchdown in Seattle, and yet couldn't outrun that stupid defense.
They're not as he's not as fast as Puka, but their play style is very similar. They're smaller, but they're tough. They can run in between the tackles. Puka's very much like that, and he would be used. It would be hard to use him, but the reason why I want Puka is to kind of like get the defense on their heels and have them expect something else and have like a gadget player there. And why not pick up a gadget player in like the 5th or 6th round where Puka is going to wind up going?
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of Puka Williams and what I think he can do. I just hope it works out because a lot of teams have tried to go that route with those type of players and it hasn't worked.
We have yet another parody account, Lard Dog Talk Sports.
Oh my God, is that supposed to be Bad Dog?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So before he puts more, let me actually get to the next super chat question, which was Michael Louise. This was 9 minutes ago. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says best player available is great in theory, but inside offensive line is such a huge question mark that has the potential to put a cap on this offense. Completely understandable to go AVT.
Yes. But here's the thing. If Rashawn Slater would have fallen, I don't believe Rashawn Slater would be BPA, but I would still grab him up. But although everything I say in the past about offensive line, I just don't know if I would prioritize AVT over a guy like Jalen Waddle. I just don't know if I could bring myself to that conclusion. I could be preaching offensive line all day long, but when draft day comes and Jalen Waddle's on the board or AVT, it's gonna be very hard for me to skip out on Jalen Waddle and go AVT, especially at 11. If I feel like I want to trade down and acquire more picks, then I would probably trade down and get AVT. But I don't know if I can skip out on Jalen Waddle, man.
What about you?
I could talk myself into it. Mike Greenberg on Get Up today, so I'm taking these stats from him. But Greeny. ESPN was spewing facts and
that's rare.
Not actually
was
like
there a blue moon on tonight?
Not metaphorical facts,
sun,
like
rather?
you know how the kids usually say spewing facts. They actually were spewing statistics.
Statistics. Okay.
That's how I spun it. 60%. So what we consider a hit rate in this scenario to be.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
If you hit
with the wide receivers, I get
If you hit on a draft pick, a first round draft pick, that means that the team that drafted that player, they are signed to a second contract, which I believe that is a hit. If especially if you consider that for the Giants, how many of their first round draft picks the last couple years?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the next parody account.
Okay. How many first round draft picks? DeAndre Baker, Eli Apple, Eric Flowers didn't even get out of their first contracts. Odell technically didn't get out of his first contract because he was traded. We already know. Yeah. So 60% hit rate for first round offensive linemen. That's the highest amongst all NFL positions. So 60% of offensive linemen that are drafted in the first round are signed to a second contract. Wide receivers. Now, this is not a reason to not draft wide receivers in the first round. This is just a thought-provoking stat. 27% hit rate for first round wide receivers. That is the lowest amongst all NFL positions, kicker included, because we all know we draft kickers in the first round.
What's the offensive lineman?
60%.
60%. Okay.
And here's why I would be able to be okay and put my head down to sleep at night if the Giants take like AVT over Jalen.
And I gotta ask you, what do you see in AVT that makes you say he's worthy at 11?
I have my written scouting, my written. I hate scouting report. I'm not a scout.
Your notes.
My written notes on AVT. I have in my plus category that he is nasty in the run game. He drives dudes. Now, the thing that I love about AVT is that we saw him both at tackle and we saw him at guard. So Slater, for example, we didn't see Slater at guard.
Yeah.
So NFL teams are smart enough to be like, yeah, we know what we need to see out of you if we can project you as a guard. But for my simple-minded simpleton brain, it's nice that I could see somebody line up at guard and tackle. Okay, because I am a simpleton. Nasty in the run game and he drives dudes. That he is a very, very nasty football player. He keeps his feet churning and he finishes blocks. The thing that I probably love most about AVT is his mental processing. So from day one, why I think that AVT would be an upgrade over even Will Hernandez. I think he's an upgrade over Will Hernandez and Shane Lemieux. Obviously, when you're taking a guy at 11, he damn better be an upgrade over both those guys. Right. But the reason why I think he's an upgrade over both those guys, because Will Hernandez sometimes the mental side of the game isn't, it may not be fully there for him. I feel Will Hernandez physically, he's there. He's strong as a bull. He can bench press, he can drive dudes in the run game. But sometimes passing off those stunts, even though I think he did a pretty good job with Andrew Thomas, it was the right side of the line with Zeitler and Fleming that struggled a little bit in 2020. But nevertheless, I think AVT, he can step in day one, and wherever guard side he's going to play, he's going to be able to work stunts very well with the tackle that he's playing next to, because he has that very good mental processing. And also, he played both tackle and guard, so he has the understanding of what are your responsibilities, which a lot of players may not have that understanding. As a pass blocker, I saw reps particularly in 2019 against Notre Dame. The one game that I would, if you want to learn more about AVT, and this game is on YouTube, it's the broadcast angle, it's not the all 22, so it's a little tougher to see. But he plays left guard 2019 against Notre Dame. I want you to go watch that game. There's the full game, full quarters 1 through 4, broadcast of only offensive plays, USC offense versus Notre Dame defense. There were plays where he is at the line of scrimmage in pass reps. Everybody else is behind the line of scrimmage, and he is just holding his guys strong at the line of scrimmage, and he doesn't allow any ground. I love how he works double teams as well. So along with passing along stunts well in the passing game, he works double teams well in the run game. He has that positional versatility. He is probably the most balanced and under control player, maybe him and Slater, in terms of offensive linemen in this draft class. There's a reason why experts are calling him the safest pick amongst the offensive linemen, particularly the interior offensive linemen. It's because he is.
And I saw this, and I completely disagree with this. When I've seen some people saying, oh, he has Quentin Nelson qualities, and I'm like, no way.
Quentin Nelson's just another breed of man.
Right.
He's another breed of man.
It's one thing to say this guy's an absolute mauler, but it's another thing to say this guy is like Quentin Nelson. I mean Quentin Nelson is different.
Vera Tucker is a safe pick. I think Vera Tucker is going to be a who knows? Teams may view him as a tackle. Teams may view him as a right tackle. You know, this is the thing that we said with Wirfs last year. Wirfs is going to play guard. He's such an athlete in space. Why wouldn't you use that athlete in space? Ooh, Wirfs' footwork. It's not really like a tackle. This was my critique. Wirfs' footwork when he's in his pass sets, they're a little too close together.
Yeah,
you don't want that as a tackle. You want to be a little bit more square. Screw that. He became like the best right tackle in the National Football League in his first year. So, you know, what do we know? It helps when you have Tom Brady as your quarterback when he's releasing the ball really quick and he has good pass awareness.
It helps where you have Tom Brady as a quarterback. It helps when the rest of the offensive line is already one of the best in the league. It helps when you have weapons that get open. It helps when you got a lot of those things.
Right. But nevertheless, that doesn't. I don't want to downplay the rookie year that Tristan Wirfs had. He was very, very good, and he was the best offensive tackle out of all of them. Good for him. You know. Good for him. We'll see how Andrew Thomas does. But there's a reason why AVT is being called very safe. It's because he is. And so this is KB. I want to go back to your thing where you were talking about Waddle. AVT is safe. Jalen Waddle is exciting, but he is the furthest thing from a safe player.
Because the injury.
Before you go, let me get these super chats real quick. Shout out to Kidblue Cheese 27 for the $2 one. He says, still believe we traded Odell for Peppers, asking KB that question. Shout out to Entertainer Talking McDonald's for the $2 super chat. He said, I'm pretty sure it's spelled BLUE. I would know. Shout out to Lard Dog Sports for the $2 super chat. He says, gotta have BLUE/BLEU cheese on the pizza. Shout out to Zion Zenit for two $5 super chats. He says, thanks for today, bro. For the fam. I appreciate it, Zion. I was over on his channel earlier, guys. Go check that out.
Hub, you gonna buy me anything when we get all these super chats? What's the deal about this?
Take us out, man. Damn.
What you talking about? Buy you something, bro. What is this?
Take us out to eat or something.
What do you mean? You know, I come on your show.
Let's get some blue cheeseburgers.
No, I don't like blue. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I'm a big ranch guy. Ranch over blue cheese all day. But yeah, come on. Where are you from? You from New York?
Yes.
Yeah.
You from New York? I'm from New Jersey. We got to meet up.
Yeah. Oh well, I live in Florida now, but when I go up there, we definitely got to meet up.
Are you still in Jersey right now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. For
I ain't
some
going
reason,
anywhere.
I thought you were
Jersey.
down in Florida.
He's Jersey all day.
No, Bobby's in Florida. Bobby is peer pressuring, but
Bobby's in Florida.
Bobby probably lied to you and said that I'm moving to Florida. So he tried to put this public pressure on me to move to Florida so we can get more done. No, I'm not moving.
Were you even considering moving or something? How did it start? He was just
just
move to Florida.
No, if I can't go to my Giants games, I would defenestrate myself. I would throw myself out of a window.
Yeah, I'm so. That's the only thing that makes me sad about being down here. But it's like the Giants play the Bucks every single year, and they're always playing down here. So you know, I get to see them
Dolphins.
already 3 times. Already saw them.
How far are you from Miami?
I'm about like 4 or 5 hours. I don't know if I want to go. I'm like dead center in Florida. Yeah, I could make the drive. Maybe I could go to both of them. We're playing in Tampa this year too, so maybe I could go to both of them. So. Who knows?
And shout out to Fried Vegas for the $2 super chat. He says, if you ain't with the buffet, you best get with it.
If you ain't with the buffet,
you best get with it. He says he's going to throw us in the frying range, bro.
That's a Fisk Vegas right there.
Fisk Vegas joke. But go ahead, KB. You were going to respond.
Oh, yeah. I had a question for Justin. You know, usually a lot of people say, especially with like Andrew Thomas, right?
Is the stream down for anybody?
What?
No.
Okay, then good. It went down for me just now. All right, bet.
Oh, no, we're good. You know, a lot of people think, like, especially with Andrew Thomas, for example, a lot of people thought that since he was the most safest player in the draft, his ceiling's not as high as other prospects. Do you feel like AVT's ceiling is not as high, but he's safe? Like, do you think, you know, where you draft him at is what you're gonna get? Do you think there's any room for him to get a lot better than what he's at, where he's at right now?
You know what? That's probably a take that I would probably come up with if we took him, and then we're talking about me watching 2-3 games of him versus all of them. Right. So, man, because you're right, because people said that about Andrew Thomas, but frankly, when you look back, Jedrick Wills was the safest pick because he was the most technically sound.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're the most technically sound, and this is also this is a little bit of a critique I have of Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks is very, very technically sound. He's a little nasty, but he's also very, very technically sound. So you're asking yourself, where can you go from here? I'm not. Am I asking where can you go from here from Vera Tucker? Yeah, it's a great question, and I honestly don't know. And that's a very, and so maybe I'm leaning
like
towards
you said,
yes.
He would be an upgrade over our 2 guards. So like, do we need him to go anywhere else other than being an upgrade?
Well, we would like him to be. If you take him at 11, you would like him to be a Pro Bowl, All Pro guard. You really want him to be like that. Maybe not definitely not year one, but you want him to work up to that. If you're going to take a guy like that at pick 11, you need to make sure that he's pretty damn good.
So would you be disappointed, say 2-3 years down the line, he's at best just a Pro Bowl level guy? Maybe he gets one Pro Bowl or something.
No, if he's a Pro Bowl level guard, if his career trajectory is, Kevin Zeitler, a couple years before he came to the Giants, and maybe Kevin Zeitler in 2019, if we're looking at that and being one of the best guards in the game, then sure, I will 100% take it. Because frankly, I'm looking at it mainly from the scope of what the 2021 Giants need, and that's probably a bad view to view it from, and I recognize that. But I so badly want these 2021 Giants to be good, because when you consider the window that is here right now.
The window's opened?
Well, the window, it has to be, because Daniel Jones is in his 3rd year. Saquon Barkley is approaching the 5th-year option, right, where he may sit out next year. He may even sit out this year looking for a deal. I would not bet on that.
Saquon's too good of a guy. I hope so. I'm relying on him being too good of a guy, but
he's a really good guy.
Well, he's a really good guy until we got to start talking some money. So no, he's a good guy. You root for the guys in blue. You always root for things to work out to the best it can be. So but the window, it's here. It has to be here. Like there is no excuse for the Giants to not win the NFC East this year. Really, like there isn't, because of if the Giants didn't make the moves that they did in free agency, if they didn't sign a Dory Jackson, if they didn't pay Leonard Williams the obscene money that they paid him, which I like the deal, but it is a lot of money. And same thing with Kenny Golladay. If they didn't pay Kenny Golladay, a couple years, then I'm like, you know what? We're still looking at this Giants team as, maybe 2022. Maybe the Giants can surprise us in 2021, and maybe we can really go for it in 2022.
We don't have anybody signed on for the team through 2024. So they're also planning for, and this is worst case scenario, they're also planning for, they have the ability to blow everything up and literally and then eliminate everybody on the roster if, say, it doesn't work out for some reason within the next 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but the window is now. We're talking, that's 2024. Their window is right now. There is no excuse for this core to not work. There's been too many coaching changes. There's been too much believing in a plan that was flawed for a couple of years with Dave Gettleman. We believe in what Joe Judge is doing, and that's what we're really holding on to. But if it doesn't work this year, oh boy. Oh boy!
Oh
that's all.
Expect this organization to just blow up. I mean, Dave Gettleman's definitely gone. I mean, if it doesn't work out, Dave Gettleman's gone. And then what happens when Dave Gettleman's gone? It's gonna trickle down in a domino effect. I mean, just one by one, they're gonna, the new GM's probably gonna want a new coach or whatever the case may be, and then new quarterback, and we don't want that to happen.
No,
we really don't. We really don't.
And shout out to Vincent Sabia for the $5 super chat, and Thrill Collins for the super sticker. Hype. You guys can't even see my arms, but that's what it's doing. The super sticker.
The Chubb had a good comment.
You really want me to read the Chubb's comment?
The Chubb?
He said he ordered DoorDash and went to the door to get it, and he popped his knee.
It's probably because he's got a Chubb while he's trying to dash to the door.
Do you see the profile pic of him?
You know what's funny? They used the other parody picture that you had. The one of you going like this, like that.
Oh,
they used that one? That's the picture. I think that's the picture, right?
Looks familiar.
The no glasses hub.
It could
hub
be.
With no glasses. Oh man, that's hilarious.
The Chubb looks familiar. Not sure who it is though.
I can't really put my finger on it either, to be honest with you.
I can't.
I think it's hub with no glasses. Whoever made that account, I think that's the same account.
KB, we were being sarcastic, but it's
I'm talking about the originator.
Let's get back to the chat now. Joseph Clark says the Giants have a good chance to win the division this year as any team. I'm gonna say this now that you brought up winning the division, no excuse. I'm not scared of Washington, but it seems like everybody else in the league is hyping them up.
Screw Washington.
It's because they wanted it. Listen,
and KB,
nobody.
I said this too. Until they beat me, I'm not scared of them.
You know what it is? It's because a lot of people that are saying that aren't part of the NFC East rivalry and don't know that it's really rare that a team will win a division back to back. I mean, it just doesn't happen. So I mean, and as far as that goes, a lot of people think that Washington's going to win it again, and it's always everybody. It's Washington fans and it's people out of the NFC East that are really saying that. But I mean, in all reality, we know as Giants fans that's not how it's going to go down this year.
We handled that defense last year pretty well.
Yeah,
and
people are not watching. We swept them,
their
dude.
Cornerback core for sure. Yeah, but Saquon is still going to go out there and absolutely decimate their D line because he's running on the inside. Against Payne and Allen, which he's been dominating since his rookie year. So they don't scare me.
Right.
I feel so bad for Washington fans. Really, I do. Because
this is their moment, and we're just like, we don't care.
They're one of their best franchise quarterbacks this week retired.
Yeah, Alex Smith retired, man.
And it's a shame. It's a shame because on the Bleeding Blue account, Giants history, bleeding @bleeding_blue. I posted Alex Smith getting sacked in 2011 in the NFC Championship game. And oh my God,
heartbroken.
The Washington fans that came into my comments, my replies, my quote tweets, and said, there was one person that told me to rot in hell because I posted a video of non-Washington football team quarterback Alex Smith, San Francisco 49er quarterback circa 2011 getting sacked. Washington, this ain't it, bro. Giants fans always be salty. Giants fans be as top.
Here's what I don't get, bro. They say we're salty. Salty of what? We swept you.
No, but you know the thing is,
you poor Washington fan who has Taylor freaking Heineke as your profile picture, as your Avi. You poor, miserable loser that you have not experienced winning in your life. Taylor Heineke trying his best is one of the highest moments of your fandom.
Right.
And taking Chase Young and losing they lost a meaningless football game. Good for you to get Chase Young. Good for you. But then the fact that we are 2-time Super Bowl champions. I know we're 4 as a franchise,
but in our
lifetime we are 2-time Super Bowl champions. We have those days to hang our hats on, and you get so upset. You faceless, voiceless child of an online person comes into my replies on a Giants history page thinking that you're going to ruin my day because I posted Alex Smith getting sacked in 2011 when he was 10 years away from being a Washington quarterback and acting like he actually did something substantial for your franchise. So you want to know what? I said this take back in December when everybody was sucking him off for coming back just because it was a nice comeback story. This is where I get really mean. But it was a nice comeback story.
Gosh.
But everybody acting like he came back and he won a Super Bowl. So you want to know what? Go ahead, retire his jersey. Go ahead,
retire his
jersey. I think he deserves it.
He was a better Chiefs quarterback than Washington
quarterback. Oh my goodness!
He's about a 49er quarterback.
Well, yeah, because considering, I mean, he only played a couple of games for Washington. I mean, man, he never even finished the season for Washington. So,
no.
And you must have really pissed Washington fans off because everyone I've met, before they started doing well, they were always so nice to me. They're always so nice to me.
Washington
I'm
fans
gonna read you
until they got some wins.
Right.
I'm gonna read you some of the stuff that we got. I got rotten hell. I got somebody needs to ratio this man.
Oh my God, they're trying to cancel you, man.
Real class. People have tried to. Giants fans are tasteless. What else did I get? I got absolute bum. Ass move. Let's see what else. Wow, my man had one of the greatest comeback stories ever, and this is what you post after he announces his retirement. At least I know all Giants fans aren't like this. What else? Disrespectful as hell. Like,
oh my God,
I didn't post a video of him getting injured, and then I said thanks for the memories. No, I posted.
It's Giants history. It sent us to the Super Bowl.
And then so what I did is I was nice to every single one of them. I was nice to every
passive aggressive nice or just nice.
No, I was genuinely nice. I was like, these people were like, this ain't it, and I was like, why?
But why?
Yeah,
why?
But why?
I think especially
you guys know the TikTok, the guy in the red shirt.
Oh yeah.
Well, why?
What are you trying to get into?
What do you mean by that?
I think especially after what Smith went through, he should at least be commended today, or at least not what this post is. I said, why should we be responsible for doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do I have to be responsible for commending Alex Smith? No.
Oh man.
I don't have to do anything.
Have any of them responded to your why question?
No, well, yeah, that's the guy said. I think he should be commended today. But I said why to a few people. You want to know the thing that didn't get a response to all these 14-year-old Washington fans who never won anything in their life? I feel so bad for them. The response every time that I put this and never got a response. I said, I agree. Alex Smith, his jersey should be retired by Washington, and he should be in the Ring of Honor.
And they
Guess
never
what?
responded, huh?
That didn't get a response because they probably believe it.
You think Alex Smith is going to be a Hall of Famer?
This is not a serious question. Is it?
I think Chris kind of asked it, man.
Listen, I think he's gonna be like a second ballot or more just because of the comeback story. I really do.
It's just here's the thing. If he did something after, if his comeback, like don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be distasteful like Kidblue Cheese is trying to say.
You can be.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be so distasteful, but it's not like he did anything. Man
hasn't done anything in his career, bro. Let's just call it what it is.
They're really awarding the guy. They're really awarding the guy for coming back on the field after the injury. It's not like he won the Super Bowl after his injury. I mean, he really hasn't. I don't think he won a game after his injury, has he?
You want to look up something funny on Next Gen Stats? I can't tell you the last time I went on Next Gen Stats. This is so exciting. I can't tell you the last time I did this. All right, passing, Next Gen Stats passing. Let's go to time to throw.
By the way, Bobby Murphy, getting his Eagles thing in here. He says last team to win the East back-to-back was the Eagles in 2004.
Do you want to hear
2004.
Do you want to hear Alex Smith's intended air yards per attempt in 2020?
Oh, bro, he's checked on Poppy.
Yeah, so we're commending somebody, which he deserves to be commended. Yes, he almost lost his leg. I understand it's a good comeback story, but before you get on your knees and you praise this man, I wasn't going to say the other bad thing, get on your knees. Before you get on your knees and you praise this man for being the next coming of what's his Joe Theismann, all right? He had an average intended air yards of 5. So every time he was dropping back, he on average was throwing 5 yards down the field.
Oh my gosh.
High school quarterbacks can do that.
Gosh. I just want to point out the hub down bad again. Has it been 8 days?
Bro, I did go 8 days. I don't know how you.
What are we talking about here?
I made the tweet that said it was 8 days. That was like a week ago. And then I went back to my shenanigans because
he's back on it.
You challenged me to 8 days.
This man really tight for Brooklyn.
You said don't simp or don't be down bad on Twitter for 8 days. I did it. Well, the 8 days are up.
This man really typed, "Hey, LOL for Brooklyn."
Hey Brooklyn, what's up, man? How you doing?
I love it.
Oh my God, it's overtime right now for the
Brooklyn
Knicks,
said, "I'll get on my."
She has yet to hit me up in the DMs. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
I'm beginning to think it might not be. A real person.
Can I say something, man?
Yeah.
You use your Twitter more or less for your thirst, more than like promotion of your YouTube channel or your tweets on the Giants.
I don't know about that one.
Look at his face.
I have quite a bit of tweets on the Giants. I really do.
Justin,
it's just that nobody likes or shares them, so you guys see the other ones more.
Hold on, Justin. Is it just me, or as soon as you go on your Twitter feed, you just see Kush commenting on a female?
Like, what the hell is he doing? And I mean, I got to give you credit. I mean, sometimes you're staying local and you're like, you're shooting within the range, but then also sometimes I see you're shooting for the stars, man.
This man, Derek Jackson, all the way, man.
Oh my god! I'm like, what's Hub doing right now? Like, Hub, you got a video coming out, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Bailey, aren't you?
I don't know who I'm talking about, but oh my! I see you and you're wilding. You're wilding.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is this: there's the misconception that I use it more for being down bad than Giants. But the sad thing is, I have way more Giants tweets in a day. They just don't get the likes or shares.
The traction.
You guys see the ones that get the traction, which is me being down bad. That's just how it is. But
you need to create a second channel then.
Yes, down bad Kush. Down bad Kush.
Oh my God! By the way, guys, the Knicks. It's overtime right now. They're about to win 137 to 127 against the Hawks.
8 straight, baby.
Julius Randle, 40-point night, 10 rebounds.
Oh my God,
6 assists.
He's a freaking MVP, dude.
Reggie Bullock.
I have a question.
Yeah. MVP.
So now that the Knicks are good, is it now less fun because the Knicks are known as like the Knicks? No, but the Knicks are known as like a gritty, like we're the underdogs. We're the
they're
team
still scrappy.
We're team basketball. So if Julius Randle's becoming the star and you're going for the 4th seed, that's not fun.
Yeah,
like being the 7th seed is fun.
Here's the thing. I say it's fun because of how we got to this point. We were supposed to land KD, Kyrie, and bring a whole little super team going over here. But they draft Zion, but that all didn't work out, and we had to start from scratch. And yet we are doing we're looking like a really good team minus those guys, and we have guys like RJ Barrett, who was supposed to be Zion, but we got RJ Barrett. He's doing well. We got IQ
and by the way,
doing
guys,
well.
Check out my video that said the Knicks and the Giants are more similar than you think.
And Julius Randle was supposed to be a guy supposed to be shipped out of New York by Knicks fans, and now we all love him. So it's
guess
like,
what? Don't forget Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau is equal to Joe Judge. Julius Randle is equal to Leonard Williams. RJ Barrett is equal to Daniel Jones. There's a lot of parallels, to be honest with you. But quickly going back on the stats.
That's why I love the Knicks. That's why it's not boring for me. I love it.
In 30 minutes, both Derrick Rose and Emmanuel Quickly have 20 points each. Reggie Bullock has 18. RJ got 16, 6, and 5. Oh, my God. What a great team effort.
And you know what's crazy? That this roster isn't really much different than what it used to be. I mean, this roster isn't much different. It's just the coach. It's just coaching.
Tibbs, bro.
It's really just good coaching, man.
And,
like, Julius was not at this level last year.
Julius also dropped like 20 pounds in the offseason.
Yeah, that's true. And also he braided his hair, too. So
yeah, braided Julius is something.
Braided Julius is something special.
How's your team doing, Justin?
I mean, the Brooklyn Nets, the Brooklyn, New Jersey Nets are gonna be fine, and we're gonna win the NBA title. This is what Bobby Skinner's been saying. Maybe instead of 4 games, maybe it's a 5-game series in the finals.
You'll see us. You're gonna see us.
We're not. You're gonna be a 4 seed.
In the championship, you will. In the championship, you will.
In the second round, and we're gonna knock them out in the second round. That's how.
No, we'll see. I want to see them in the championship.
Listen, all I truly want is for Brooklyn to acknowledge that they are not the Kings of New York. All right, I want them to acknowledge that they're the Nets. They can be the Kings of Jersey. That's fine. And that the Knicks are Kings
they can
of New York.
be the Kings of Jersey.
Okay.
I don't care about being Kings. We don't care about being Kings of New York.
Your team does. Yes, that's why it's a whole thing on Twitter.
I'm not in Nets Twitter.
Yeah, you should.
I'm in New Jersey Nets Twitter.
You should thank the gods that you were not involved in NBA Twitter. It is weird.
It is weird.
A bunch of weirdos.
What, Nets Twitter specifically?
No, just NBA Twitter in general.
Well, I mean, Hub, I'm logging on and I'm seeing you being thirsty. I don't know how much weirder we can get other than that.
He's not lying, dude. He's not lying. I mean, it's funny. It's funny to me. I like to get a good laugh when I get into Twitter. So
I gotta be careful because
I go to my profile.
Yeah, right. You're at work. You're scrolling through, and
I go to my profile, and the last thing I tweeted was the promo for this. The second to last thing I tweeted was about Godzilla versus Kong.
Now you're gonna talk about recency. Okay.
Before that, it was about the Knicks. You go down Giants.
How about before that?
Giants. KBB
Listen,
tweet.
You're making it sound like you don't do this, but because the volume of the tweets you do that are sports related, but it's the little things that matter.
That is what I'm saying, though. I do way more sports related stuff.
But for whatever reason, the algorithm
always puts you on top, buddy.
Likes when they put you on top in a couple different ways. You know what I'm saying? So
Shut up, bro.
For whatever reason.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
And you
final.
have to take
There you
advantage
go.
of that.
Final. Knicks win. Let's go.
Oh man. But so you guys,
the Knicks are back.
The Knicks, I don't know if they're back. This is like a remix, bro. This is not because, like you were saying, the Knicks are trash. So
I feel like as soon as they lose a game, Knicks fans are just gonna trash them again. I feel like that's exactly what's gonna happen.
All right, so you guys ready for a mock draft? Then are you still feeling it?
Oh,
I'm with it.
I got to get into it. Yes.
Yeah,
right,
and
so
this would be the first. Is this the first time we'll be doing a mock draft with Justin?
Yeah, because I don't think.
Yes.
Yeah, Justin. Like
so
you said,
I think this is interesting. It'll be interesting to get your spin on things.
So what
how
do you
many?
Want to do?
Well,
do you want to do a first round mock or a 6th-round Giants mock?
Let's do a 6th-round mock
for the Giants specifically.
Yes, I don't tell me to pick other teams.
6th-round mock for all teams. We'll be here till
KB,
3 o'clock in the morning.
Or do you want us to just all do the Giants?
Let's all be the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll all get our collective.
Who wants to be Kevin Abrams? Who wants to be really quiet and silent and say 3 words?
That's not me.
Okay, then Kevin Abrams is my imaginary friend and back. Who wants to be Dave Gettleman?
I'm always Dave Gettleman. You know?
You're always Dave Gettleman.
Yeah.
Who wants to be Joe Judge? Hub, I feel like you're a good Joe Judge.
Oh, thank you.
Can I be Jason Garrett? I want to be Jason Garrett because
well,
I want to be Jason. I want to be Jason Garrett because I'm a fool.
Okay, so as soon as we start this, I'm gonna say, "Hey, Garrett, get the hell out."
Cool. What am I looking at? What am I looking at right now? Am I looking at the stream?
You're looking at PFN Mock Draft Simulator.
But how am I following it?
Oh
yeah, you can look at the stream to follow it. Yeah, basically. And for now, I'm just gonna take off.
How's your latency, Kush?
It's ultra low.
Okay.
So here we go, chat. Hope you're ready. Durant has a very important question though. He has a really important one. He says, "Who's going to be Evan Ingram?"
Excuse me?
Durant is asking who's going to be Evan Ingram.
Who's going to be Evan Ingram? Oh.
Yeah. Well, where's Evan Ingram? Where's the account Evan Ingram at?
Evan Ingram's on a beach. Let's just leave him there.
So I'm clicking Let's Draft. Here we go.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence goes first, then Zach Wilson, then Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Jalen Waddle at 5, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Penei Sewell drops to 8. Rashawn Slater goes right after at 9. Patrick Surtain to the Cowboys at 10. And here are the Giants. Are we taking this trade offer? Washington wants to trade up.
What the hell?
No, okay. No trades.
No trades. But
I hate trades.
Wow, that
and in division as well. That's not even realistic.
So I would be. Let's just say this. If I would be a fan of trading down if it comes up, but in mock drafts, I am not a fan of trading down.
I can respect that. Where are we going here? This is the board.
Oh,
currently,
sheesh.
Kyle Pitts, Mac Jones, J.C.
Horn, God,
Christian Darrisaw.
This mock draft hates me, man.
Can we restart?
Why?
Yeah, please, because that's not realistic at all, dude.
I think Kyle Pitts could fall. I don't think it's out of the question.
Dude, Penei Sewell dropping to 8.
All right, so the order in which these players went, I don't necessarily agree with, but I could see these players going into top 10.
Oh, man.
All right, then I'm taking Kyle Pitts.
I was going to say, do you really want to restart?
God damn it, yo, just take Kyle Pitts.
Really?
I'm taking Kyle Pitts.
That goes against everything I believe.
Even though we were just saying, like, you take AVT, who's still available?
Yeah, well, Kyle Pitts is just different.
Okay, then, so I guess we're going Kyle Pitts.
We're going Kyle Pitts.
At 12, the Eagles go Mac Jones. 13, J.C. Horn.
No!
Aziz at 14. Darrisaw.
We got to restart,
15.
man. We got to restart. We can't give the Eagles Mac Jones, man. That's God mode.
I'm sorry. It's what happened. Caleb Farley, 25. Joseph Osai, 26. ETN, 27. Zaven Collins, 28. Creed Humphrey, 29. AVT goes to Buffalo. Sam Cosme, 31. Oh, I can't even scroll up. Okay, we just going to have to go with it. Wyatt Davis goes 1 pick before us. Terrace Marshall, Eric Stokes, Melifon all off the board along with Jalen Phillips. What are the Giants doing here?
All right, we need to see who's available here. My stream's going to catch up. You're going to click reject.
Yeah, take away. Yeah. Oh my God, Pat Frying is on the board.
So
I like
Baron Fryermuth, Joseph Browning. Do you want to look specifically Kadarius Toney Celebra? We already got the weapon. Do you want to look specifically by position?
Yes.
If you're looking for Lander Dickinson, he's still on the board.
You know what? Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Lander
Dickerson's there. You take him.
Giants.
Welcome to the Giants.
So we have Pitts, our tight end, but are we going to put him out at wide receiver? What are we doing with Pitts?
We're trading Evan Ingram.
Okay. Which
yes.
team? I'm down.
We're not doing it in this mock draft, but the Giants would trade Evan Ingram for an additional pick, and I don't care what pick it is.
Okay.
I don't care.
We got
an 8th rounder. 8th rounder.
We got one reach comment from the chat. Durant says Landon was a reach.
Landon Dickerson could go in the first round and nobody will be surprised. You know what? In a mock draft, you know what I hate? I've just dropped my phone. You know what I hate? You telling me that it's a reach when a simulator is controlling it, or this guy's not going to be there. Blah 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 blah. Just watch quietly.
Jesus, bro. All right, calm down.
This is why I don't do mock drafts.
I don't think it's that serious. Shout out to Diggy in the chat. But yeah, for anybody that's just tuning in, this is where the Giants went with the first two. Kyle Pitts somehow dropped, and we got Landon Dickerson in second.
Nick Bolton's on the board still.
Somehow Nick Bolton's still on the board. I don't know how.
And that's becoming a trend now. Nick Bolton has been dropping on draft boards. He went from a late first round prospect to a 3rd rounder, and then Jamin Davis, whatever his name is, Hameen, went all the way to the 1st round for whatever reason. So I don't know. They trade places, but as far as the list I'm looking at right now,
Bolton has to be the one, bro.
I gotta say Bolton, but I mean we can look at other positions, but I would say right off of what I'm looking at, off of the big board, I would say Bolton's my guy.
I would agree. Let's scroll down a little bit, and I'm a little behind.
So when I scroll down, I got Rashad Weaver, Holland, Amari Rogers, Jordan Smith, Kellen Mond, Walker Little, Dylan Moses.
I like Rashad Weaver.
I do too, but I think there could be similar edge rushers with the way this board is going in the 4th.
You know what? I think you're right. I like Bolton, so let's do it.
Yeah, I'm a huge Bolton guy.
There you go.
I just want to say,
and we can get that interior.
As I bring up the Giants draft so far, if this happens on draft night, I don't care what happens for the rest of the rounds. That's like an A++ draft right there. But
Jordan Smith was available too. I talked about him. We talked about him a little bit earlier. UAB, long edge rusher, long guy. He's long. Josh Myers. He's going round 3. Josh Myers going before Ben Cleveland. That's pretty.
Jalen Mayfield dropping into the 3rd round. Jesus. Weaver goes to the Patriots. Roche goes to the Saints.
Trey Sermon.
Chasserat goes to the Titans. But we got Nick Bolton, so I'm fine with it. Paulson Adebo in the 4th to the Falcons. Guy I really like.
Amari Rogers off the board.
And here we are at 116. What are we doing? How is Cam McGrone still on the board? Jesus. What is this? Anyway.
How is Javon Holland still on the board? I love him.
Like I was saying, edge rusher's still going to be there. Bo Hamilcar, Rashid, and Patrick Jones are still here at 116.
Nico Collins there. Patrick Jones. Yeah, I'd probably say Patrick Jones here.
How are we feeling about Nico Collins? He's going to be a guy that I'm going to preview on wide receivers. So here's my thing with Michigan wide receivers. I am now starting to give the benefit of the doubt to Michigan wide receivers because Michigan is such a terrible offense with terrible quarterbacks, like Donovan Peoples-Jones, for example. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones, he only had maybe like 14, 15 catches his rookie year with the Browns, 2 touchdowns, 70% catch rate, and I thought he was pretty productive and he looked solid. Despite his like limitations that he was saying that he was going to have coming out of college. So I'm now starting to give the benefit of the doubt to Michigan wide receivers who may have some question marks, but because they're in such a terrible offense, they're never given the correct opportunity to perform. So do we have any thoughts on Nico Collins or
I
not
like
yet?
Nico Collins as like a 3rd round guy, like a really good mid-round wide receiver.
I don't have any huge like gripes on Nico Collins. I just feel like he's around a 3rd round talent.
Shout out to Joseph, by the way. Thank you for tuning in. He's going to head out now. So you want to go Nico over a guy like Patrick or Hamilcar at the edge?
Yeah, and you want to know why? It's because so how I approach my mock drafts, and I only do this is my 2nd one that I'm doing, and I'm going to do one more. I'm doing 3. That's it. How many mock drafts have you guys done?
A lot.
Well,
if you're counting formal ones, yeah, I've done 3, and the 3rd one is actually Wow, I forgot to announce this. My third and final 6th-round mock for the Giants guy is premiering right after Young Guns, so you could just stay around on the channel and watch the premiere.
Nice.
So, yeah. But
awesome.
Unofficial ones like one I've done on stream, bro, I can't count.
You can't count. So I only like to take guys that I know and that I've previewed. I don't like to take guys that I don't know. So I think I'm going to preview Nico Collins. So I would take him.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Tamorrion Terry?
I have not previewed him.
Really?
I love Tamorrion Terry.
Similar to Collins in the sense that a really good 3rd-round receiver and whatnot. And yeah, he's somebody I would consider here as well if you really want to go with wide receiver. But let us go. Did I just switch? I just realized. There you guys go. I forgot that when I switched tabs, it switched everything else.
Yep.
It is what it is.
I'm now looking at your YouTube dashboard. I'm trying to see if I can see how much money you make.
We're trying to hack your. Yeah, we're trying to hack.
You. Nico Collins is where we go. I completely forgot because I'm so used to StreamYard with it being sharing tab.
You're getting monetized there. You ain't getting demonetized. Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Aw, man. There goes Jones at 128 to the Steelers. Kyle Trask to the Raiders, guys. That's QB1. Don't quote me. But that's QB1 for the Raiders. Monty Rice to the Cowboys.
Dalen Hayes comes off the board.
Sean Wade.
No. I was backing up Dalen Hayes.
Well, you were hoping he was going to drop to us in the 6th?
Yes.
In the 6th, though?
Because that was my edge. No, aren't we picked? We have a round 5 pick.
No, we don't have a 5th-round pick.
Oh, that's right. We don't.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's why I was like, yo, you sure you want to go wide receiver right now? Like, we're not going to get an edge in the 6th, man.
Oh, crap. This is why I'm a fool. This is why I'm Jason Garrett.
Jason, get the hell out of here.
Get out. Shakur Brown. I like him. Michigan State. I'm also very behind on my stream. Oh, no.
God. I mean, we got weapons. There's no need for no weapons. But Sage Surratt, that's a very late pick for it. No! Elijah Mitchell goes to the Vikings. Jesus.
You know what that means?
To drop.
You know what that means?
I really want him to drop, man.
Puka!
All right, who's here?
Well, is Puka still on the board? There's one way to check. Let's go over to running back.
Puka's always on the board, dude.
He's gone. Oh, no, he's there. They have him ranked at 299. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They think he's Donald Pumphrey 2.0, and I don't think so.
All right, we got to view these edge rushers.
Yeah, in the 6th round, though, bro.
It's not like this guy's gonna make the roster, but
Kando is somebody that I heard a lot about, but I haven't.
But Kando's been rising up the draft board.
Take Chris Rumpf. Take Chris Rumpf.
You love Chris Rumpf?
Chris Rumpf,
yeah. Yes. Super productive, super athletic, super fast, very small, but he's gonna get bigger.
He's gonna get bigger.
Peace out to Rick in the chat.
Teammates with Daniel Jones.
We're going to get him bigger, guys. We're going to get him bigger.
Can I click on his scouting report? They said solid college pass rusher who lacks size and strength for the next level. Plays with good pad level, works with his hands, and bends off the edge. Flash athleticism, collapses down the line of scrimmage in pursuit, and works to get involved in the action. Gets a lot of momentum going up the field and shows speed off the corner. Gives effort defending the run. They don't have that many negatives for him.
I like him. I really do like him.
All right, and then who are we going here at 201? Your boy Puka is still on the board.
Who else do we have in general? Is there anybody glaring?
Puka or John Bates? We already got a tight end in Kyle Pitts.
Jacoby Stevens. People. Bobby and I had a discussion about who would we prefer, Hawkins from Louisville or Puka Williams. He is much higher on Hawkins, thinking like he actually can fit an NFL system, and I'm much higher on Puka Williams just because he's a much more fun player. So you want to know what to wound out our waft?
Yeah.
To wound out our waft. Let's go with Puka Williams.
Let's do it, Puka. Yo, dude, I always, whenever I do these mock drafts, I always find myself drafting Puka. It's just I gotta do it.
There's that one player, like the last pick of the draft, or especially since the Giants don't have a 7th round pick, so it's not like we're picking with only 10 picks left. There's always that guy. They're just like, I like you. You're a late round prospect. Mm-hmm. Just come on my team.
Right.
And then we just got
Cornell Powell all the way down here. Cornell Powell all the way down here.
Fun fact: I don't know if Gregory Rousseau came off the board yet.
Yo, I'm gonna admit.
Just imagine, dude. Just
I
imagine.
did not have my eye on him. I was not even looking to see if Greg Rousseau came off, bro. I'm not.
This
gonna
is
lie.
the Giants draft.
If
That's
this
a
draft
pretty
happens,
damn
that's
good
A+,
draft,
bro.
dude.
That's
And
A+.
then Puka on the bottom, obviously. Like, that's a pretty damn good draft, man.
I mean, if this happens, I don't think there's anybody that would hate it.
I don't. Yeah, and even though I'm so against getting Kyle Pitts, I'm not hating it because we got Landon Dickerson at 42. Like, I want an offensive lineman so badly, and we got it. We addressed it. Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton adds such Bolton, especially with the value there. Bolton has such an element to get a pass rush from the interior, like the insider, like in between the tackle blitzes. Like this guy's gonna be insane blitzer from the inside linebacker.
But also think about Bolton and what the Giants ask like their and what typically NFL teams ask their interior linebacker number 2s to be. Like Blake Martinez is going to be the smart and methodical player that's going to play a gap. He's going to, force a running back inside.
By the way,
he's going to.
Hakeem has this updated. Greg went second round to the Jets.
I thought he was still around in the seventh round. Thank you, Greg, for updating us. Was it Greg who updated us on Gregory Rousseau?
Hakeem updated us on Greg.
See, Jason Garrett brains working really fine. Thank you, Hakeem. But Nick Bolton as an interior linebacker too, where guess what? Guess what Tate Crowder's job was last year? Go. That was his job.
Yeah.
Go. And
Bolton's an animal, man. Bolton is an absolute animal.
Yeah. And love Tate Crowder, but major upgrade over Tate Crowder and interior. Like Nick Bolton's an upgrade over any linebacker that we've had probably the last decade, not counting Blake Martinez. Yeah. So adding him as an interior linebacker too. Definitely I feel like the temptation to add an interior linebacker too that could be serviceable for us, particularly within the first 4 rounds, is there. Because that also makes the loss of Dalvin Tomlinson a lot more easier to swallow. In a way, right?
In a way, yeah, I guess. I feel like the loss is already easy to swallow just because I feel like we already replaced him in a sense. We already got players that's gonna do what he's gonna do. So I'm already kind of placated with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. They're not gonna do it as well as he did. I mean, Danny Shelton's good, but he's not he's just simply not going to be as athletic. And he's not going to make the plays
Danny
that
Shelton
Dalvin Tomlinson
literally
did.
There just to stuff the run. DT did more than that, but I feel like that's why we got like Afidi and stuff.
And Austin, and Austin Johnson, that's why he's there too. But you also at the same time, you can't have all these guys on the field at the same time too. It's a good thing to have depth, but adding a guy like Nick Bolton, it makes you better overall against the run. It'll make you better against the pass too. And I think it makes losing Dalvin Tomlinson, a guy that you relied on up front, so then you didn't need to have like an awesome interior linebacker number 2. You didn't need to have you could allow Blake Martinez to play, further back from the line of scrimmage because you had those like hog mollies up front who were plugging those holes. This year, with the loss of Tomlinson, we may not be able to play Martinez as far back as he was last year. We'll see everybody does, but I mean it's going to be a loss that may be felt at some point. And the fact that we got Nick Bolton in this mock draft, I think it does not hurt as much.
Would you say any other player other than Nick Bolton fills that, like say McGrone or Surratt in the third as other linebackers?
Oh, Surratt. Yeah, so Bobby loves Surratt. But Bobby had Andrew Thomas last year as his love pick. Like he loves him. He loved Andrew Thomas, watching him during like his bowl game. He's like, this is my guy. And he had him throughout the entire draft process, and the Giants took him. His guy this year has been Chad Surratt, a guy that he like talked about since like the month of May in 2020. And he's continued to talk about him. He's continued to like him. And the good thing about Chad Surratt, he's falling in draft boards right now.
I know. I mean, and the thing I want to say real quick, me and Bobby for some reason think a lot alike. Because same thing last year with me with the Andrew Thomas thing, and KB as well. Like we were raving about Thomas, and then we were so happy that we got him. But this year, like my last 2 official drafts, like we were talking the difference between official and the ones that we do on streams. My last 2 official drafts are extremely similar to the last 2 official drafts Bobby did. Especially my mock draft 2.0 where I went Jalen Waddle in the first, Chad Surratt in the second. I think I went Paulson Adebo in the third, Ronnie Perkins in the fourth. Warren Jackson as our first 6th-round pick, and then I can't remember, but an offensive lineman.
Abraham Lucas
as the second one. Thank you, bro. And then I think Bobby's draft was like Jalen Waddle in the first, Chaz Surratt in the second.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have won an edge in the third. I might be wrong about that.
I think he might have. I think he might have went with Rashad Weaver.
Yeah, but it was like so similar. And then I literally texted him on Twitter yesterday when I was, actually a couple days ago when I was uploading the one that's about to premiere after the show for my members, and I was like, oh my god, we have like very similar drafts again compared to the one he did with Rashawn Slater, one first and whatnot, down to like you could almost say it's exactly the same. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, that's incredible. I don't know what else to say about it, but yeah.
Well, Bobby's a smart man, and I'm Jason Garrett, so.
I have a really good feeling about Chaz Surratt because it's so weird because he's being mocked to the Giants so many times, and he's a 3rd-round prospect. Like, usually you see guys that are constantly being mocked to your team that are 1st-round prospects. Like, there are so many links to Chaz Surratt being a Giants type pick that it only makes sense. Like, I'm looking at a bunch of like 6th-round mock drafts from different networks. Almost every single one of them, the 76th pick really belongs to Chaz Surratt.
And the funny thing about Chaz Surratt, and this is similar to Andrew Thomas, Chaz Surratt has been falling in draft boards
only recently
after the college football season ended. It was the same thing with Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas was consensus offensive tackle #1 last year. Magically, he was not. After the season ended, he was offensive tackle #1, and then magically, when April came around, he was not
tackle #4. Like,
he was not the consensus offensive tackle #1.
Right.
No, I agree with you on there 100%. But Justin, hey man, another great show. The second time on here, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Amazing conversation. Shout out to everyone in the chat. KB, any last thoughts? Justin, any last thoughts?
Nothing, man. Listen, man, this was fun. Obviously, I'm not in the normal spot. I'm in an undisclosed, location right now.
Are you coming from the hospital because a dog bit you today and you have rabies?
No. I'm celebrating my mom's birthday, so we rented out a little like Airbnb place.
You know what's funny? I was literally about to ask, are you with your mom?
Yeah. Yeah, my mom's birthday this weekend, so we're bringing.
How dare you have a good time in your life?
Right? I know. I just can't do that.
You're not allowed.
But yeah, this is fun. I got my one of my mom's laptops here. I didn't want to bring mine because mine sucks, but I'm glad I was able to make this work, able to do this. But yeah, it's always a blast, especially when Justin is on. Man, he just made my whole day, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I wish I had his personality.
I knew talking to me would be a very good part of your day because I talk to myself all the time and I cheer myself up.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. It was hilarious what Bobby said and then what Justin said.
Do you look in the mirror when you do it or no?
Do I look in the mirror? No, I never look in the mirror. I hate looking at myself. Double chin? No, I don't like it. I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost with my harsh lighting before. I had to turn it down. So I never look in the mirror. But I always say I have a body for radio, which is very true. YouTube comments love to point that out.
Oh my god,
fellas, it's always great to hop on with you guys. I am much more comfortable and much more happier talking about the Giants once their roster is actually kind of like decided. So I'm excited to come on again when we make our draft picks and maybe I can start throwing some analytics and some numbers back there. I'm not a film guy, so I appreciate everybody kind of hanging out. This was my second mock draft that I did tonight. And I'm sorry for getting mad. I'm sorry whoever I yelled at. I'm very sorry.
By the way,
Washington fans too.
It was the Rant, and I'm sorry to say the Rant hasn't commented since.
You know what? I'll live. I'll survive. You hope you'll survive too. No, but thank you. This has been awesome. I'm excited to. We'll hop on again soon and go Big Blue, go Hub, go KB.
Thank you, man. Guys, once again, 11:15 premiere of Mock Draft 3.0. Go Justin. That's it for now.